Hi, my name is Colt. I'm a licensed realtor, and today we're talking about how to set a realistic budget and expectations when you're getting ready to purchase a home. Alright, so the first step in setting a realistic budget when purchasing a new home is just getting a pre-approval. Now, if you don't know what that is, please see my other video all about pre-approvals. But for now, let's just say that takes all of the guesswork out of it. You don't need to go online and use mortgage calculators. They can vary and they can be different depending on what the current rates are. The easiest and best way to do it is to just get a pre-approval. Alright, first tip, try to stay under your maximum purchase price. Now, if you get a pre-approval, they will tell you what the absolute maximum you can spend is, and the best idea is to stay below that. So let's say you're pre-approved for $400,000. Okay, so most people think, wow, let's go look at homes that are $400,000. Now, you can, but I don't suggest it. I recommend staying under that. I would look in the $350,000 to $375,000 range just to be safe and see if you can find something that you like in that price range. The reason being is because when you purchase a home, it also comes with unexpected maintenance fees. If you have a water heater bust, you're going to have to replace it. If your AC breaks, you're going to have to fix it. Sometimes roofs leak, you're going to have to fix it. So if you push it all the way to your max, you're not going to have any money left over when these things come up. Alright, now you also need to take into account HOAs, which are homeowners associations, as well as higher than normal tax rates, which can include special assessments or mellow roofs. Okay, so if you've been pre-approved for $400,000 and you're looking at a home that's $400,000 and all of a sudden you find out it has a $100 a month HOA fee, you no longer qualify for this home. Same thing with mellow roofs or special assessments. And so by sticking to a lower price point, say the $350,000 or $375,000 range, you avoid any of those hiccups. You avoid falling in love with a home and then finding out you just can't afford it. So try setting your proposed monthly mortgage payment aside. That's right. So after you're pre-approved and a lender tells you, hey, your payment's going to be about $1,500. Now, if your current rent or mortgage is $1,000, set the extra $500 aside. Just do that for 2 or 3 months and see what it feels like to live with that type of payment. Not only will you be saving money, which is going to help you get into your next home with a higher down payment or have more money to do repairs or upgrades, but it'll also allow you to kind of feel how that's going to work and feel how it's going to be. Maybe you want to move to a lower price point, or maybe you realize, hey, this doesn't bother me that much at all. Either way, it's just a good idea. So realize that if you're purchasing your first home, it's more than likely just going to be a stepping stone to your next home. You need to purchase a starter home. That way that in a few years, hopefully your income will go up and hopefully you'll have some equity in your current home. So when you sell it, you can take the money out of that property plus have higher income. So you'll be able to afford a larger, nicer home. But most people can't afford their dream home right off the bat. So what do you do when you realize you can't afford anything in the area you want to be in? Well, first tip, look outside that area. You really want to stay in city A, but you just can't afford it. So look in city B, C, and D. You'd be surprised how many times you can find something that you like in those areas. Worst case scenario, you just look at some homes that you realize you don't really like. Best case scenario, you find something you can afford, and that's great news. So tip number 2, instead of trying to buy a house, if you can't seem to afford that area, maybe you have to stay in city A because of the school districts. If that stuff's really important to you, then instead of looking for a house, try looking at a condo or a townhome. Those can be viable solutions. A lot of them have everything that you'd find in a home, a backyard, a front yard, a 2-car garage, all of those things. Just expand your horizons a little bit. It's better to see more of what's out there and kind of reject what you don't like than have a narrow search and not see what's out there. You might miss something. Here comes a pro tip. Get a piece of paper and a pen and start writing down everything that you want in a home. Then separate that list once you're done into a needs column and a wants column. But be very realistic about this, okay? Do you need a big backyard or would you like a big backyard? Do you need a single-story home or would you like a single-story home? This will help you identify what it is you need to have in a property, what are your absolute must-haves, and what is just icing on the cake after that. This will help you out a lot, okay? Also with this tip, if you're purchasing a home with somebody else, i.e. your spouse, make sure to do this list with them. You won't believe how many people have different sets of needs and different sets of wants. If you sit down and make this list together and come up with compromises and what you both want and what you both need, this will save you a lot of headaches in the future. Turnkey properties. Let's talk about these for a second, okay? They're beautiful. They're gorgeous. Everybody loves them. But that means there's going to be a ton of competition for them, okay? Which means that you might overpay because there's going to be bidding wars for people trying to get these. Now, they're great, and if you can afford to do that and that's what you want to do, go right ahead. But an easy alternative is to find a home that has a similar floor plan to the one that you like that needs some cosmetic work, okay? Carpet, paint, things like that. Things you can spend a couple of $1,000s on and your house can look just as good as new. Here's my final tip. Break out that list we made earlier of everything you want and everything you need in a home. The needs are absolute must-haves. If the house doesn't have it, you're not buying it. It's that simple. But the wants, okay, go ahead and start looking at that list because you're probably going to get close to 80% of that. All right, so start deciding ahead of time what the 20% is that you can live without. It'll make it a lot easier to let go of that stuff so you don't get hung up on it. Now, if you're buying with a spouse, do this with them as well so you can avoid any confusion, any complications later, okay? But start looking at that list and deciding what's an easy 20% that you can get rid of. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I do hope you got some great information out of the video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those below. Other than that, give me a like or a subscribe, and I'll see you next time.